All right, welcome everyone. It is January 3rd, 2026, and I'm here to talk about a little bit about poker, get us hyped. That's what this channel is all about, actually. And why we're here. So, I just want to get something for you guys to look at, a little recap of last game and just some changes that are coming up and get everyone excited is what I really want to do. Yeah, last December 5th, I believe it was, we had a match. It was a lot of fun. We had a good turnout, a lot of great discussion as always. Yeah, we ended up with a unusual Jake Jornstead scoring his first win ever, Master Chief. Had. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of good players. Unfortunately for Big Ross, it was a little tough, but we get our bumps and bruises in life, and we try to come back. But on another note, what we'll try to do is have like a $120 max cap for losses. Thought about this quite a bit, and like it's a cash game. We want to keep it that way. It's been working well, um, rather than going to a complete tournament style. But what happens, like, and you can see it with myself here. I went down past 120, and like if you're if you lose, you can always get back in. You can always like double your money or just be aggressive and play, but, it's kinda nice not to go in every time. Like, yes, it's fun to get those steaks and big pots humming, but, we don't wanna, like, slaughter the pig, as they like to say. Let's, you get to that 120 level and just be done. And maybe 80 is probably the right way to go about it, but, you wanna keep playing, you wanna take some risks, so I think 120 is the right way to go. Also, we do post a lot of politics and hot takes in the channel, but we could definitely use some more poker content. So if anyone ever like is like, what would you do in this situation? I think that would be a lot of fun. I'll try to incorporate some possibly in the future, but for right now, more than welcome to add your input if you'd like. So let's do a quick summary here. Like I said, matchups. This is always fun. I think you guys can all see. You can go back in your history and see your stats. You don't need to be a paying member or anything for that. Different streets, positions, aggression. There wasn't a lot of aggression. I did notice this last time. I think people are getting punished more for being too aggressive. So that's good to see in the scheme of things. Um, yeah, I do like that defense hands. As far as last game, it was solid. I didn't have a lot of elite hands per se, but I definitely had ace ace that I capitalized on, as well as ace king, and that's what you got to do. And then there's these other hands which were pretty good. Yeah, don't play your other hands. That's long story short. Play your good hands, and you will win in this league. But it is 3 hours, and it's fun to play. So rather than sitting out and wait for those aces, which will win nearly every time, at least 60% of the time, I'll say. Um, yeah, stay away from bad hands. Bad beats. This was kind of fun. Dayman ended up pulling it out here with the deuce on the river. 42 possible wins for Ryan, and old Justin Dayman hit it on there. Then we also have Dayman versus Master Chief. Uh, 39 outs compared to 5, and the Jack saved them at the end. So yeah, just a lot of fun there. We had big pots. There's a few 80, $70 pot, which is probably the healthy amount rather than getting into the 100 and 120 blah blah blah. Graph, yeah, pretty even throughout. Couple dips away there. Games 71 hands. One more thing before we get into the hand history, I have concocted a power rankings, and the quick formula. I can show it if you're interested, but basically, it takes the last 5 games counted rather than the entire history. So, if you've only played two, you're still included, and you know, that way it throws it out. So maybe you had like a couple huge wins a year ago, but it's time to filter theirs out. So like if you take first in a night, you get 10 points. Second is like 8. Third is 4, and fourth is like 2 or something. But I also made it so like if you finish negative on the night, you don't get any points. So um, I can share that if anyone's interested. Also, if you have the most amount of money won in your last 5 games, you get bonus points. So like you can see numero uno is myself, but I do not have the most points, whereas Dennis had 2 extremely good nights. So he's he gets a full 10 bonus points there, so I edge him out with 2. He gets 2 more games. He would definitely, put above me, so I just want to share that. Carl Nelson, I think he's had a string of good second and third place finishes, so that adds up, to 17. But you can see there's a big gap here between first and second. So I just think this is a lot more fun than the other charts I've been showing. This way you can kind of see if you're on an upward trajectory or not. And then we have Justin, we have Eric, and then some more older players as well. I can add some filters to keep the more recent people in. But yeah, I think this is a lot of fun. You can see Jake Jornstead once again has 10 points for taking first in the last time. So good for him. Yeah, a lot of fun data here. I enjoy keeping this up to date. So let's go. We're gonna try to keep this about 15 minutes. So we got 9 minutes here um until I'd like to wrap up. So I'm going to have try to look for the big pots on one screen, and then we'll try to find them. So right away, it looks like hand number 2 was a big pot for someone. And let's roll what has here. Mike Hunt, I believe that is myself. Dayman, Lane Kiffin was definitely better than Mike Hunt. But yeah, and that's funny too with Ole Miss going on. So wow, 4-7 right off the flop. That just swell, feeling swell. I'm the dealer chip. Like it's okay to like call, especially on the cheap pot like that. So I feel exquisite at the moment. And we have Dayman with a good solid king queen. Um, yeah, I mean that's a good hand. That's why you want to play those hands because you still have a lot of options. So we have a bet here, bet here, bet. Um, I just feel good here. This is the right place to do it. And then we end up hitting the queen. So like I'm still not I mean, I have two pair like options of king, like a queen nine is pretty low. I'm not afraid of many things here at this point. So that's a good raise in my opinion, 1200. And then boom, trips, like that's unfortunate. I see a big raise and I call because that's like tough to go out on. Like there's a good chance he doesn't have the queen, but I was definitely scared after that. So D-man, huge win to kick off the night here. So now it looks like things are pretty muted up until about hand number 12. Let's see what happened here. So um, I was not a part of this hand. It looks like I was bled out, which will happen on occasion. So um, dealer chip, blind Dan, Boodle King, first to act. Interesting hands, but we have two pretty solid hands here, and also this king queen suited is also interesting to play. Nobody should be raising here, in my opinion. Maybe the king queen, but when you got four other players in, it's like let's just see what's going on. 10-7-4. Wow, that looks really good for Kevin, and unfortunately, even better for Roscoe. So like you have these other percent, like it only shows 30% here, but you're hoping to kind of kick out some other these other people. So, um, yeah, Kabuto King feeling really good. He's got potentially the nuts here. All it. I think that's a good call. Steal Jack nine. I mean, yeah, you got like you have a lot of outs for that outside straight. So, wow. And there it is. So this is like a classic hand, and this is where you want to dive down into the percentages. I would definitely recommend. So like yes, I think it's like a 33% chance of hitting the flush on the final one. Or you wanna what you should put into the pot is 33%. So like if pretend like it gets a steal here and he raises 600, you should call to get into the pot. If he raises $10, you should not call to get into the pot. And that's just by the numbers. So we have a check here. I think that's good. Check. And that's a good raise. He has the straight. He wants to make these people pay. So look at that. 1000. That is an excellent move. Good job, Alex. Roscoe, the all in. He's got top pair. He also has a chance for a straight, but he's looking at the flush. Boodle King folds. That's a good fold. That's a good fold. Uh all in calls and boom, there it is. He's safe. So I mean, lot going on there. Good be afraid, but good raise by the steel steel wool here. So, all right, another big hand. We have 15. All right, pocket aces, 5-3, and pocket fours. Let's see how this unfolds. And it's funny because like these like kind of start to come back. It's like, oh yeah, something happened here. So let's Ryan, always aggressive. Um, I'm in it because sure. And wow, look at this hand. We have a full house. This is wild. What do you do with this here? Um, all in, excellent play. You just, when you get the cards, you got to play. Um, yeah, I mean, you're not expecting threes, uh, him to hold a three. So like, I guess you could expect to be a high pair. So I think I would be scared, but like, Dayman or Budo King, he's gonna let it all hang out. Full house, full house, 995 to 5, and boom, there it is, finished. So his only outs were a four, I believe, or another three. So actually, another three that would have canned him as well because that would have been a full four of a kind plus his aces. So that I mean, that's a good hand. You got to take advantage. So good job to the Ryan right there. We'll go to 23. This looks like another decent sized hand. Jack 10, pair of tens. Let's see what happens. Hey, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. See what these people got. I think it helps gauge what you're seeing. Jack 10, high card. I mean, that you got two chances out of straight. That's another good percentage to memorize that I don't know at the moment. Alex has to feel pretty good there, and me, I'm just, in it and gonna get pushed out, fold, call. Good job there. Feeling good once again. And I guess yeah, he ended up winning there. Okay. Flush, flush. Okay, wow. Okay, I don't know what I clicked there, but yeah, interesting to hit that flush on the last one. So what do? You feel good, you have the flush, but better cards. So that's especially with hitting the four spades to the end. That's really brutal. So, all right, now we're going to go to 23. This looks like a good job by old Roscoe here. So he's just give him some love. Queen 10, that's good. King Queen. Um, these are both solid hands. Gonna see what happens. 10 Jack. All right, that's good. You got top, well, not top pair. Um, but you have chances. A couple chances at the straight with the ace and the yeah, the ace could work or the nine. So I'm gonna stick in. I'm gonna stick in, we'll say. And now I have pair of queens, feel pretty good there. I'm gonna bet it. Still a little scared. So and king queen, boom, I feel really good. Um, check, 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 320, 320, and boom. I pulled down. That's tough. Getting rivered like that. That is tough stuff. So we let's go to 29. It looks like I made a big oopsie here. $40. So ace queen, jack 10, king jack. And once again, this would have been my third fallout crash out here. So, you know, going forward, this would be like the end. So I'm just like trying to get back in, feeling I'm on tilt. Brosco, big call there. Um, yeah, I have this. We have all in from Gavwalls and let's Ryan Jack 10 there. I mean, this isn't a great hand, but he does have outs, and that's important to know what your outs are. 80, 80, 80. All right, high card 304. And then yeah, check, check. All right, this was dumb. All right, I gotta pause here. All right, we're live again. Got time for a couple more hands. So yeah, just finishing this up, catching up. We have Jack 10, Ace Queen. I raise here like a fool. Um, I was trying to bully out, but with a $80 pot already, just not going to be enough. So all in already. Jack 10 pair. Well, I guess what happens here? high card, and a pair of 10. So Ryan kicks my ass. Like I said, I didn't think it was that great, but everybody has different tolerances. So once again, good for Ryan. He seems to have my number. So yeah, that's another stat I'd like to check. See who has like the highest win totals against another player over time. So all right, let's get in one more hand here before I call it. And like I can do a lot here. There's a lot of good hands, but if there's any that you want broken down, make sure to write which hand it was and what was going on, and we can do it. So, all right, pocket aces from Roscoe, feeling pretty dang good. We have 5-9 from Master Chief, 2-7, humongous, and a spitting queen six here that I should absolutely fold. And I do. Good on myself for that. So here we have this turns out to be a massive pot. Okay, so we have flush off the flop and then three of a kind aces. So this is just brutal. It's like once again, you don't want to fold this, but you have four players in here. This is also tough for humongous because like once again, neither of these flushes are actually that good. Like they're pretty low on the totem pole, but you don't want to fold those, especially in a game like this. So Roscoe still feels pretty good. Like, yes, people could have flushes, be a surprise, but let alone two. So just going out 480, big, this is what Roscoe wants to see. But like at the same time, like this is scary to me. Like, yes, pocket aces is the best, but even if he just had one, that's a huge commitment. All in, calls, and Jake ends up taking it here. And so good for him. Good for Master Chief to finally get that monkey off his back and a big win. There's a lot of fun hands here tonight or that night. So yeah, make sure you bring some hot takes for next Friday. That would be let me just check here, the 9th. So it's going to be a good time. Always is. Lot to discuss, and I will share my investments that I make next week. So, anyways, once again, thanks for watching. Appreciate it, and see you guys next Friday.